Welcome back, Food FAQers. I'm Mariella.
And I'm Eric.
And today we're talking about budget-conscious meals.
Yes. This is great for summertime.
Summertime, when your kids are home and they're always hungry and they are like bottomless pits of snack.
Yeah. Kids are. Your kids are.
They always want to eat something, I swear to God. And when they go to other people's houses, they're even more snacky, which is so embarrassing.
I think it's because it's a different type of snack. Just remember being a kid and you went over someone's house and you're just amazed. What do you mean they eat this? We don't eat this. And it's it's a different type of snack.
Absolutely.
Fortunately for your kids, Ryan eats like a 5-year-old. So
that's true. They did not want for anything, honestly. They were just like, goldfish, done.
They're like, goldfish, done. Dino nuggets, give me one. Chips, let's go. So the good thing is we were well prepared without having to prepare.
Inadvertently.
Right. They were very happy.
So today we're doing this, yes, budget conscious, but not only budget conscious, time conscious, because who's the star of this show, Kay?
A rotisserie chicken.
A rotisserie chicken.
It's delicious. And what I love about rotisserie, so here's the key with these meals. Everything you're going to have in your home, except for the rotisserie chicken, more than likely. And that you can go to your grocery store. Costco, BJ's has great rotisserie chickens, but you can go to your local grocery store and pick up a delicious plump rotisserie chicken. Mm-hmm. And most places it costs you like $5-6 to grab this chicken.
Unbeatable. You cannot buy protein raw and cook it yourself for $5 or $6 anywhere.
Exactly.
To get anything of quality. Yeah.
And a lot of grocery stores, some, even if they don't have the whole rotisserie chicken, they have the chicken cut up into pieces. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of things to go grab.
Ready.
But we're going to talk about chicken today.
What's the first thing you're going to make with this chicken?
An underrated meal, which is the chicken salad.
Oh, I love a good chicken salad. And my kids like it too.
Good. It's so good. So this is what I do. You take one of the chicken breasts, and we talked about the tender. Get the tender out also. And I like to chop my chicken. I like to chop my chicken for chicken salad in chunks. I don't like to shred it.
Me too.
I like it in chunks. Now, I will say, though, shredding might go a little further.
Yeah.
If you need to feed more people. But true. I like to chop it up in chunks. This is something I like to use for lunch, but you can do for dinner also. So we chop it up in chunks, and we're going to use some mayonnaise. Again, preferable to Duke's mayo. We go ahead and use the mayonnaise.
How much?
I say, okay, so here's the deal before you jump down my throat. So you have two choices here. You could do a cup of mayonnaise if that's the only creamy thing you have. But here's the thing. If you have some Greek yogurt or you have some sour cream, maybe cut that mayonnaise down to about 3/4 of a cup to a half a cup, and then use the rest Greek yogurt or sour cream. And it just gives it a different flavor. That's just what you're there for. Mm-hmm. And I like to also put a little bit of, you could even reduce that down a little bit further and use some Dijon mustard as well. Basically at the end of the day, all of this, creamy liquid, it should be within a cup is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And go ahead and mix your chicken in there. I like to dice up celery. I like to dice up onions. You're not going to like this one because I like to put apple in there as well.
I like apple in a
Oh, do you like apple in there?
I do. It fits.
So I love apple in there. I love walnuts in there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do want grapes, but if I do put the grapes, I don't put the apples. I'm a one fruit kind of man.
It's not a fruit salad, damn it. It's a chicken salad.
It's a chicken salad. Exactly. So you mix all together and then season the hell out of it. So salt, pepper. You want to go ahead and put some garlic powder in there. You want to put onion powder in there. You can use my cure-all, which is celery salt. Put that in there. If you
use celery salt, you have to be careful with the salt, right?
Be careful with the salt that you originally put in there.
Yeah.
You may actually just want to do celery salt
instead.
Taste it and see what you would do. And I'll be honest, actually, you could probably negate the salt and just use celery salt. Mm-hmm. But taste it and just see what you like. The thing with chicken salad is I like to let it just if you make it in the morning, use it in the afternoon. It's perfectly fine. You can use it right there when you make it. It's not a big deal. But next day is better than first day. And then my favorite thing to do with it is I love to get a croissant, slice the croissant in half, toast the croissant up a little bit, put that chicken salad in there, and it's a great meal.
I love that on a croissant, which I think elevates it. It makes it a little bit different.
Yeah.
Where I'll serve it on a cracker though. Listen, if I got to feed kids.
Absolutely.
I put that sucker on a saltine and they love it anyway. They don't really care the vehicle, but if I put it on a croissant, they will be elated.
They're going to think you hit the lottery. Put that shit on a croissant. That's fancy. That's a fancy sandwich. I didn't get a sandwich on a croissant when I was a kid.
Hell no. So. I didn't get croissants when I was a kid.
That's one of those snacks we talked about at other people's homes that I did not have in my home, which is a croissant.
My Cuban mom was not buying croissants.
No, no. My Cuban mother loves a good croissant, but it's not in my home.
Right, not a household item.
No, that was like a special time item. I think that's just a really fast lunch, Marty.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's really easy to make. And here's the thing, we're just trying to make a couple meals out of this rotisserie chicken. If you have more people to serve, use both breast.
Yeah.
In the rotisserie chicken. I do recommend using white meat, by the way, for chicken salad, only because dark meat is very fatty and it's already very greasy. The purpose of the mayonnaise you're adding into this is to add that fat and grease already.
Right. And it's cold. So who wants to bite the fat that's cold?
And cold dark meat gets gelatinous.
Stop it.
And it's just gross.
That word, dude.
So that's just me. So that's what we're going to do.
That chicken salad is very close to what I make. I only make a couple tweaks. Okay. The onion, I don't chop it. I grate it in with all the juice and stuff so that you don't bite into a chunk of onion, which I don't like. I like to grate it in. And I don't add, what is it? The fruit?
The apple or the grape?
Yeah. You know what I like to add? I like to add chopped up dried cherries.
Oh, that's good too. Or cranberries, maybe.
Yes. And when you let it sit, they kind of reconstitute, but they also bleed out their sweetness into their neighbors. And oh my God, so good. And I've never tried walnuts. And I think next time I make a chicken salad, I'm going to do it your way, Big Daddy.
Toast your walnuts too, a little bit.
Oh, yes.
There's just toast your walnuts a little bit.
You're making me excited.
I know. My walnuts do that to everybody. But
your walnuts bring all the boys to the yard.
They literally do. But toast the walnuts. And chop them up. It just has a really nice crunch to it. And I think it adds nice texture. And what I like about the walnuts, just to let you know, if maybe you're we're no health professionals here, but maybe if you're just low carb in it, it kind of makes it a little bit more of a filling meal if you're not going to put it on bread. If you're going to eat it with an actual salad or whatnot, it gives more substance to the meal. Yeah, and lets you feel more full.
Love it too. I have to actually buy a rotisserie chicken tomorrow. Every time we make these shows, the next day, I'm like, man, I gotta go make this thing.
Well, because they're in the caves of the back of our heads of everything we do. And then it just kind of reminds you, that sounds delicious.
So what else can we do with this chicken?
So the other one that I like to do is so think of a pulled pork, but it's going to be pulled chicken. So we're going to now take the other half of that chicken breast. And this is where we're going to shred it up. And just so that you know, I am not adverse to people leaving the skin here on any of these recipes.
Interesting.
I'm not adverse to leaving the skin here on this stuff.
I would remove it. I usually feed it to my husband as I'm shredding it because he likes it.
I eat it as I'm shredding it. So just so you know, this is probably easier than the chicken salad. This is definitely easier than chicken salad.
Absolutely.
It's really simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to shred the other chicken breast. Don't forget the tender. Shred the chicken breast. Get that in a pan and get your favorite barbecue sauce and pour it over there and then turn up the heat. You want to add a little bit. Honestly, I don't add anything. I was going to say you get a little bit of honey to it. You get a little bit of spices to it. I may doctor up the barbecue sauce by just adding a little bit more pepper to it and things like that. But there's not much because here's the point to this. So you're going to let it go and you're going to let it keep going on that hot pan and let the barbecue sauce caramelize onto the chicken. So get a little dark. It's going to you're going to feel it almost get sticky. And that's good because you're letting the sugars come through.
Yummy.
So you're going to take your favorite buns. You could take hamburger rolls. You could take really anything that you like.
Hawaiian rolls.
Hawaiian rolls would be great. That's a great idea.
Yummy.
So take the Hawaiian rolls. Again, I like to just toast them up a little bit. Your pulled barbecue chicken now on that sandwich. If you happen to have coleslaw somewhere, trust me, put some coleslaw on the sandwich also.
Yes.
And it's such a great summer. To me, that's just very summery to me.
Absolutely.
That's a really nice one.
That sounds so good too. Oh,
I love that one.
All right. And then you still have another one. What's the next one? We have
another one, Mariellas.
This chicken is feeding us.
This chicken is feeding us good, Marty. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the chicken and we're going to take all the rest of that chicken meat off of there. So you're going to take the rest of the meat and you're going to put it in, again, we're going to put it in another pan. We're going to make a stir fry.
Okay, tell me more.
And what I love about stir fry is stir fry gets rid of all those leftover vegetables that are in your home. Totally. So you have snap peas, you have broccoli, you have green beans, you have corn, you have peas, you have carrots, whatever you have. throw that into a pan with a little bit of olive oil and get everything stir fried up. Now, this is what I do. I carry 3 type of Asian like sauces and oils in my home. One, of course, is soy sauce. Everybody should have soy sauce in their home. Okay. Soy sauce, by the way, is tamari.
Yeah, you told me because it has less sodium. You're
less sodium. I already take a pill for the sodium, so we don't need to make the pill work any harder. So tamari. So I go ahead and I throw some tamari on there, let it get all great, and it's going to sizzle. And then you're not really going to taste it, but it's going to add a great flavor to it. It sounds, if you don't like oysters, you may not like the sound of this, but it's not going to taste like it. Okay. Throw some oyster sauce on there and just let it keep stir frying up. Mm-hmm. And then when you're done, pour a little bit of sesame oil on it. Those are actually the 3 Asian ingredients I always keep in my homes at all time. Tamari, oyster sauce, and sesame oil. And just let you know, sesame oil a little bit goes a very long way.
Yeah.
So do not douse it. It's super fragrant. It's super toasty. Mm-hmm. And then put this over white rice and you're done. Mix in noodles. Put in white rice. Do what you want to do. Eat it by itself. Eat it with a side salad. And it's great. And
you know what I like to do? A little bit of brown sugar. Anything Asian that I make, I put a little bit of brown sugar.
You say that. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know why, but the soy sauce makes me want something sweet paired with it. I don't know if it's just me.
It's just really salty.
Yeah. And then when I stir fry, I'll make like a little slurry with, say, like a tablespoon of cornstarch and a tablespoon of water. And then I'll throw it in at the end. And that creates the thick sauce that you want to slather over your rice. And it's closer to takeout.
That it is close to takeout, and it is really good. I don't always just do that just because I don't think about it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
But I do love that. And you go ahead and pour that cornstarch slurry mixer over it and just let it keep cooking for a couple more minutes, and it's going to really thicken up.
Yeah. When it boils again, that's when you're done. Then you can eat it.
Exactly. And again, you're right. Put that over rice.
Yeah. Some really very warm and fluffy white rice. Oh my gosh. I love any meal I guess it's because I'm Cuban, but any meal that involves a pillowy mound of white rice and something I sauciate on top.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going back to my roots now with rice. I did the pasta thing for the past decade, and now it's like I'm going back to, because I think growing up, we didn't really have a lot of pasta in the home because everything was rice based.
Yeah.
Like having 100%. A Cuban mother, everything is rice. So I think now having, eating pasta for so long.
You're getting older. That's what happens. When you get old, you go back.
I'm like my mother now. So now,
that's not the worst thing to be like. She's pretty cool.
No, it's not. She's a pretty cool lady. I'm kind of cool with that. So now we have
a carcass. We fed 500 people with this one chicken. You're like Jesus and the loaves and the fish.
I am like Jesus with a chicken. So we have a carcass, and I hate that we say that it's a carcass. Like and it is, but I freaking hate that word. It's horrible.
I'm still thinking about Jesus and a chicken. Holy shit. Okay, go.
I am. So we're gonna take this carcass, carcass, and you got to get a stock pot. And okay, so if you don't have a stock pot, just get a big pot that you have in your home.
Yeah.
Put the chicken in this pot and just fill it up with water.
Yes.
Get it to a boil. While it's going to take a hot minute to boil. While it's going, we're going to get our seasonings together. So get a bunch of celery stalks. Just cut the celery stalks up. Just throw it in there. Get a couple onions. Throw it in there. Get a head of garlic. Chop it in half. Don't worry about peeling it or anything like that. Throw that in there also. I like to throw peppercorns in there. Yes, I do like to salt it. Mm-hmm. I salt it pretty well, but you can always salt it afterwards. So give yourself a little bit of leeway. Like we always say, you can add to this. You can't take it out.
True.
So throw some salt in there also, couple of bay leaves, and let that thing just bring it up to a boil. And then you just got to keep letting it go for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And you have to just let it go. I mean, I would say you probably need to let this simmer. How long do you let yours simmer for?
At least an hour. I'll make it in the pressure cooker too. If you have a pressure cooker, it makes light work of this. 100%. You can be done within an hour.
Yeah. I would say you probably want to let it simmer for at minimally an hour, but you probably want to let it go for like 2 hours. Here's the thing. It sounds gross, but you're extracting a lot of that flavor from the bone.
Yeah.
And you're extracting that cartilage. From the bone. And that's what gives that really good flavor to your broth.
Chef's kiss. Delicious.
Chef's kiss. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So once you've been bubbling away for about an hour, 2 hours, you might even have to add a little bit more water while you're doing this. but just keep it going. It's going to be worth it in the end. And then when you're done, you're just going to pour this liquid and all the ingredients. I do it over like a sieve, basically.
Yeah.
With a bowl at the bottom, so it catches everything. And then you just have this really wonderful, clear broth. Now, this is where you can go ahead and retaste it if you need to add any extra salt to it or any other seasonings that you want. And then go ahead, put it in containers, put it in your refrigerator. You can freeze it.
You know what I do? I got a trick.
Tell me.
I get the freezer bags, the good, sturdy, fat ones, the ones that are thick.
Right.
And I will leave the broth on the counter, maybe covered with a kitchen towel so that just, there's no debris that falls in there, things happen.
Right.
And I'll let it cool. And then I will get this big freezer bag and I'll ladle in the chicken stock. I'll close it and I'll put it flat on a little tray, like a baking sheet or a cookie sheet.
Right.
And I'll put that in the freezer. So when it freezes flat.
Correct.
So it takes up a lot less room in your freezer if you have limited space.
Right.
Which I think, for me, it's a lifesaver.
Right. I have quite limited space because there's so much stuff in there.
Yes.
So quite limited space. And then just a couple things that I like to do with the chicken broth because I want to give you all a bonus on what to do with this. I'm like a backup choir right now.
I know.
So what I like to do is I like to cook rice with it. So instead of using water to boil my rice, I use chicken stock a lot of times. And that adds
protein to your rice.
It does. And it also just adds a lot of flavor.
So much.
You can, of course, add soup to it. You can make a soup out of it. It's a great soup base.
You can cook ramen in water and then just add it to this broth and vegetables on top. And you have a ramen noodle soup that will rival anything you get in a restaurant. And you can put whatever you want on that. That's what I do.
It's funny because how many of us are at home and we have, you made something with chicken, you have the chicken bones or you have bones from, steaks or things like that, and you don't use it. The bone is really important and you can extract a lot of flavor from it. And, I think it's kind of like a cool kind of mantra that like, if you're going to eat an animal, you use every part of the animal. And we definitely in the society don't use every part. And I'm guilty, of course, of doing that, of not using every part. But I think it's really great that you can use every part of the animal, know that everything was used. And just let you know, I do make a seafood stock also, because if you have the peel of shrimps, you can do the same thing with the peel of shrimps here. What I love about chicken stock is it keeps really well in the freezer for quite a while.
Yes. And it's such a useful ingredient, honestly.
Yeah.
It adds flavor to sauces, to rice, to anything. Literally, you could, I don't know, what could you do that's innovative with chicken stock? I want to think about this. What could you do with chicken stock that people
just substitute water with it?
Yeah, that's true.
Anything that calls for water, that's savory.
Mashed potatoes,
mashed potatoes is really good with it.
Yummy.
Substitute water with it. It's great. So I hope that this fun little segment, fun little podcast, fun little episode, whatever the hell this is. And I hope that this is really inspiring just because all of this, Mari, we all have in our homes. The majority of us have in our homes. So we just talked about 3 meals plus a bonus stock here for everything that you should have in your home.
Right. Pull from your pantry. We advocate very much. Go back to our first 2 episodes where we teach you how to build your kitchen, and you will see that we are very pantry based because we know what it's like to have to feed ourselves on a budget.
Right. Absolutely.
I feed a family, but Eric feeds himself and his partner, and it's all expensive. He lives in a very expensive city. So we tell you these things because they work. So buy that chicken and feed Jesus with a chicken like Eric.
Like Eric, Jesus with a chicken.
And save some money because maybe you're going on vacation or you want to put your kids in some kind of camp. Buy a $5 chicken.
Like if I was putting my kid in a camp, I'd be buying a lot of $5 chickens right now. Those camps aren't cheap.
Oh my God, Eric. $500 for 1 week I saw today.
It's ridiculous.
Hello.
You know what how many chickens I could get for $500?
Fuck. We're going to have to be eating chicken for the next month.
You can be eating chicken for a year. You're getting like 100 chickens for $500.
Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Put it in there, save some money, and feed your family well, and come back home because that's what summer's all about. Coming back home and gathering and being with the ones you love.
Having fun.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.